Beautiful. So first and foremost, I want to welcome each of you to the Parkinson's Foundation's Mindfulness Monday. I want to thank each of you who continue to show up for your practice each Monday or tuning in at your own time, maybe watching the recording. Here's a snapshot of our upcoming Mindfulness Monday. So just setting out here for you guys to review. And then this Wellness Wednesday, we are hosting a Parkinson's 101, what you and your family should know. So as a part of the PD Health at Home series, each Wednesday we do an educational event. And this Wellness Wednesday, October 20th, is Parkinson's 101. So if you're newly diagnosed, have a family member who's recently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, this is a great start to kind of get a basic overview of Parkinson's disease, learn about what it is, what causes it, common symptoms, treatments, and strategies for managing those symptoms. As we begin, I want to be sure to share the mission of the Parkinson's Foundation with those of you who might be joining us for the first time today. Every day and in everything we do, the Parkinson's Foundation staff and volunteers are working to make life better for people with Parkinson's. To achieve our mission, we pursue three goals: improve care for everyone with Parkinson's disease, advancing research toward a cure, and empowering and educating our global community. You can learn more about the Parkinson's Foundation's mission by visiting our website at parkinson.org. There's that website there for you on the left side of the screen. And if you have any questions or looking for resources or some support, a little bit of guidance, please don't hesitate to reach out to our toll-free bilingual helpline. That's 1-800-4PD-INFO. If you prefer to write or type, you can email us at helpline@parkinson.org. So in my research for today's topic, I came across a very interesting research article that's written by several experts. The article is titled "Stress and Mindfulness in Parkinson's Disease, a Survey in 5,000 Patients." Jennifer is going to drop that research article for you guys in the chat. You can take a look at it at your own time and kind of learn a little bit more about the specifics. So we're going to talk today. Today's title, the session was titled Physical Wellbeing. And based on the poll from, I think it might have been last week or two, I noticed that many of you didn't really enjoy or resonate well with the mindful movement, the yoga session that we did a couple weeks ago. So I thought I would turn the tables a little bit and talk about physical well-being through a different lens. So I first want to ask, let's define the word stress to begin with. What is stress? So stress is defined by the Mental Health Foundation as our body's response to pressure. That can be emotional pressure, mental pressure, professional pressure, physical pressure, not feeling physically able to do something. People experience stress in many different situations or life events. It can often be triggered when we experience something unexpected, something new, or something that threatens our sense of self or that we feel we have little control over, like Parkinson's disease. Stress isn't always negative. We can feel stress during good times. A wedding, for instance. Moving can be a very inspiring, it could be a good reason for a move, maybe downsizing the house or moving into a bigger home. Our response to stress is different for everyone. Our ability to manage or deal with stress can depend on our genetics, just like everything, right? Early life events or childhood, how our parents modeled their behavior to stress, our personality type. So depending on if you're an optimistic person, more introspective or introverted, it can really determine how we manage and cope with stress. Our social skills and circumstances, or even our environment. All of this is how we deal with stress. So I just want to ask each of you, before we get a little bit further down the road, in the chat, or if you don't feel like sharing with the group, writing down on your journal a piece of paper, what do you do to reduce your stress? So the question is, what do you do to reduce your stress? I eat. We eat chocolate. Reading, yes. Exercise. Mhm. Knit and pet my cats, eat chocolate. Good. Robbie says he walks. Marcy laughs. Monica meditates. Yes. Paula says I practice mindfulness breathing. I sleep. Yes. A lot of people sleep when they're feeling stressed. Exercise. Journaling, time with friends, rest. Thanks, Annie. I try to listen to music, deep breathing, eat ice cream, walk, cuddle with my cat. Yep. I'm right on along the lines of cuddling with my cat to sleep more. Enjoy nature, Sharon. That's great. I try to breathe. So Regina says something interesting. She tries to breathe. When we're stressed, it's really hard to think of what we might consider healthy coping mechanisms. So breathing, exercising, everyone's writing in these really beautiful, healthy coping mechanisms, but we're not talking about what we don't want to share, right? So I might go to McDonald's and binge on some McDonald's. Okay. I might go to Publix and buy 3 bags of chips and all kinds of snacks to munch on. I might drink alcohol, thinking about the other things that we do to cope with stress. Play ukulele, Sandra. I love that. Play music. Yes. So these are all really great ways on how to reduce stress. So I have a poll for everyone. Jennifer, if you would launch that poll for us to respond to. You should see it coming up onto the screen here any moment.
I apologize. What's the name of it?
Okay, Jen, I've got it. Cool. So when you are stressed, does your Parkinson's symptoms worsen? Yes, no, maybe you don't know. Or you can respond, I don't have PD, but stress does not serve me well. And we'll give it just a couple more seconds. When you're stressed, does your Parkinson's symptoms worsen? Yes, no, I'm not sure. I don't have PD. Very good. So more than half have said yes, they do worsen. And about a quarter of our participants who were able to respond say that they don't have PD. Nobody answered no. So that tells me everyone has some kind of negative effect when experiencing stress. Good. Heather says, I haven't found a way of making my stress any better yet. That's okay. We're going to explore a way today. So we start our conversation on stress just to gain an understanding of its effects on the body, right? So we had an overwhelming response of people saying, yes, my PD symptoms worsen on your Parkinson's disease or your loved one with PD. Further from there, for those who are joining us who do not have PD, we can gain an understanding of how stress affects our bodies and our minds. So I want to tell you guys about this article that I read, recently published. So it was published in January 2021. They studied over 5,000 participants, people with Parkinson's disease and those without Parkinson's disease, the control group in research words. The data from this research showed that patients with PD perceived more stress than those without PD. So saying that people with Parkinson's disease felt like they had more stress than those without. People with Parkinson's showed a higher inclination to ruminate. So rumination is kind of fixating on things, really drawing an idea out and analyzing, overanalyzing, and really just holding on to a thought or an experience. People with Parkinson's also showed to have a lower quality of life, lower self-compassion, so feeling love for yourself. And they also showed that stress significantly worsened both motor, especially tremor, and non-motor symptoms. That's why we're here today. The results of this study further indicated that Parkinson's disease symptoms worsened during stress and cognitive load. So cognitive load meaning there's a lot to think about, there's a lot to go on. The brain is over capacity of thinking. In this study, experts found that many patients used several ways to reduce stress. And it's basically everything that you guys wrote down in there. The two most popular items that people did to reduce stress, number one, physical exercise being the most common, physical exercise. And number two, practicing mindfulness. And then they further saw a difference in mindfulness. So those who regularly practiced it had a higher quality of life than those who didn't, and also had a higher tendency to manage their stress. The patients who used movement and mindfulness simultaneously as ways to cope and manage their stress experienced the most relief from their PD symptoms. I'm going to say that again. The patients who used movement and mindfulness together as ways to cope and manage their stress experienced the most relief of their PD symptoms. And I'll echo, this is research data for 5,000 patients published in 2021. So this study is suggesting that using stress reduction or mindfulness-based practices along with physical exercise, PD patients could self-manage their symptoms. Self-manage their symptoms. So we're going to give it a try today. And I wanted to share that information with you guys because number one, we all know how important movement is for people with Parkinson's, right? But this can go hand in hand for all of you who are joining us who do not have Parkinson's disease, but are a part in some way of our Parkinson's community. Movement is so vital to the body, to the brain, and to how we deal with stress. On top of the importance and benefits of using mindfulness. So exercises like yoga and Tai Chi, any exercise that allows you to really find yourself in your body, you're moving your body, you feel your body moving, using a mindful movement technique allows us to self-manage our Parkinson's disease symptoms. Phew, my brain went wild when I read that. You know, there's no magic pill, right? The pill is to exercise and do it mindfully. So we're going to try a little bit today. You guys would indulge me. We're just going to move very gently for 5-ish, 7-ish minutes, and then we'll finish off with a mindful meditation. We'll really dive into how we're breathing. Okay? Good. I already see you guys moving around. So find that comfortable seat. If you're going to participate in the movement, just come to the edge of your seat, whether that's the sofa, the bed, the kitchen table, anywhere that's nice and supported on the ground. Good. Sit up tall through the spine, nice and tall, shoulders up, back, and down. Good. And then see if you can relax just a little bit in this posture. Finding a little effort and some ease. Good. And we're not going anywhere. Just close your eyes. And then notice if you can soften the muscles in your face, the muscles around your lips. The tiny little muscles around your eyes. See if you can release any tension you might be holding in the face or the jaw. And then together we'll take a deep breath in through the nose. And then open the mouth and let it go with a gentle sigh. We'll take 2 more. Deep breath in. And then 1 more. Make some noise. Good. Take your left ear towards your left shoulder. Nice stretch through the side of the neck. And then notice if you're trying to hug the left shoulder up towards the ear and see if you can drop the shoulder down. And then we'll bring the head back over center. And then we'll take it to the other side. Ooh, my neck's tight. Anyone else feeling tight? Let him breathe. We'll come back through center. Good, so you can't see me, but let's take the hands out by the sides of your hips and take an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, float the hands down. Good, we'll take 2 more. Inhale to lift up. Then exhale to float down. Good, big breath in to lift up. And breath out to float down. Good, place the hands on top of your thighs. Shrug your shoulders up towards the ears. Really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So we're actively stressing and tensing the body. Squeeze, 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 and let go. Ah, goodness. Good, breathe in, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And let it go. Ah. Feels good to let that tension go, huh? One more time, breathe in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And let go. Good, shake the hand, shake the head, just make some movement. Good, and then come to stillness. We're setting up for our meditation, whatever seat that you'd like to take. If it feels good, you can pump the feet by lifting the heels and coming onto the toes, side to side, just a little movement in the feet, kind of like you were walking in place. And then let the feet settle down to the ground. And coming into a mindful awareness of how you're breathing. Noticing any movement that's happening in your body. The movement of your breath. Movement of your tremor. Or perhaps it's involuntary movement. You might be feeling a little dyskinetic today. And for some, there might be a lot of movement in with that inner dialogue, that chatter of the mind, that conversation that we have with ourselves. It's okay if all of it's there, just let it be. And then start to feel, again, this mindful awareness of your breath. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth or out through the nose, whatever feels more comfortable in your body today. Noticing how the body rises with the inhale, the belly lifts, the chest lifts, and how the body settles down with each exhale. Acknowledging this relationship between breathing in, receiving, and breathing out, giving back. Using the power of your breath to stay anchored in the presence of your body. And the power of the breath to send a message to your brain of calm and ease. And breathing in to receive And breathing out to give back. If you find it challenging to stay focused on your breath, just know that that's okay. And see if you can refocus your wandering mind back to how you're breathing, even if it's just for a single breath. Breathing in to receive nourishment, and breathing out to let go and give back. Embracing whichever challenge you're facing here. And trying not to push it away, but allow it to be present. Breathing in and breathing out. And take another minute or so. And use this time without my words of guidance to start to exercise the power of your own mind. And take a breath in and let that breath go. And take another deep breath in. With this exhale, you can softly flutter your eyes open. And take a moment to look around the space. Move the body any way that it feels called to do. Shrugging shoulders or rubbing the hands together. Looking around, finding a gentle stretch if you need to. Beautiful. So I know in mindful meditation or even mindful movement, it can feel challenging to still the mind. And even stilling the mind isn't a goal, right? The goal is to practice so that we can exercise and strengthen the muscle that we call a brain. And when we find this challenging to do, it can feel defeated. But it's important to just acknowledge the effort, because that's what it is. It's an effort. I remember my father asking me, why do you call it practicing meditation? because there is no goal, there's no finish line. It's a journey for life. It's just like Parkinson's, or those who are living with it. It's not something that we can get a 100% or an A+ on all the time. It looks different every day and for each one of us. So I just want to applaud each of you for taking time to exercise the brain, even more so with those of us who are living with Parkinson's disease, who are inclined for changes in our cognition, to exercise a big muscle that we hold on top of the entire body, while also mirroring the importance of exercise for each one of us. So movement of the body and movement in the mind is so important for our health and well-being. I got a couple of messages that just shared on how complicated, difficult, and challenging the meditation is for them. And I just want to echo again, try to stay with it. Try as often as you can and keep breathing. It's the best we can do, right? Did anyone have any initial feelings of stress relief, or feel that perhaps looking into the research on the benefits of physical movement and stress reduction and mindfulness, how that kind of may or may not have influenced your, let's say, enthusiasm or optimism about mindful movement? Yes, so I wanted to make sure that each of you know I'm reading your survey results and your feedback. And a lot of you have asked for more research. So I'll be incorporating that in future sessions. Perfect. Jennifer dropped the article if you guys want to read. I think it's like a 12-page article, lots of jargon, lots of statistics, but the meat and potatoes I pretty much outlined for you guys. No, Phil, I do not have Parkinson's. I've been working with Parkinson's for almost 7 years, if you guys want to indulge me on my history. Straight out of college, I came right into Parkinson's disease and quickly recruited to community engagement and empowerment. So that was my history. I did a lot of research in Parkinson's, and then I guess I got noticed on being able to empower our community. So I hope you guys feel empowered. Karen, yes. So the title of the article is Stress and Mindfulness in Parkinson's Disease, a survey in 5,000 patients. So if you just Google that, stress and mindfulness in Parkinson's disease, a survey in 5,000 patients, it should pop up. And the primary author is Anouk van der Heide. So just for reference, for those of you who might Google it. Beautiful. All right, you guys, that's our time. Please join me November 1st. I know a whole bunch of the world just finally got a wave of fall, right? So fall is here. It's this transitional time of summer to winter. We're heading into the darker days of the year. So join me on November 1st. We do have something nice and sweet for us to explore together. All right, y'all. Have an amazing day, amazing week, and the rest of your October, and I'll see you guys on November 1st. Bye-bye.